Hello, welcome to Polyphonic Press. My name is Jeremy Boyd, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new album by Bob Dylan titled Tempest. Here we go. So I'm sure I don't need to tell you who Bob Dylan is, but this is his 35th studio album overall, and recently he celebrated his 50th anniversary of his first album. And he's had a really prolific career, and it's really nice to see that at 71 years old, he's still putting out quality albums. This album starts off with a song called Duqesnse Whistle, and the first thing that I noticed was instead of having a bass guitar, there's actually an upright bass playing. It's kind of a unique sort of take rather than having a bass guitar. It just sort of gives it that little bit of extra flavor that you wouldn't typically hear in a normal rock setting. Bob Dylan was never really considered a great singer, but I really love his voice, and I think he is one of the greatest singers of all time, simply because there's a certain truth to his voice and a certain believability, and you can really believe every single word that he says. And for me, that's really what I look for in a great singer. And this album is really chock full of really truthful, honest songs, and you can really hear the age and the maturity in his voice. His voice has gotten pretty raspy over the years, but there's a certain wisdom to it that I really enjoy. The song Long and Wasted Years has kind of a slow waltz feel to it. This is really my favorite song on the album. I'm not really sure why I love this song so much, but it just makes me feel good when I hear it. The song is written from the perspective of someone who is Bob Dylan's age, and sort of looking back on his life and sort of the loves that he's had over the years and things like that. I'm not really sure if this is actually about Bob Dylan and if he's taken from his personal life, because usually how he writes is he takes a character and sort of writes in that character. It's not really, the songs aren't necessarily about him, but it's sort of like he's making a movie with the song, sort of telling a story rather than singing about his own personal life. The song Early Roman Kings has kind of a bluesy feel to it. It has that classic blues riff that you would hear on a song like Bo Diddley's I'm a Man. The thing that sets this song apart, though, is it has an accordion on it, which is really cool, and, you know, it's because it's Bob Dylan. I mean, why wouldn't you put an accordion on a blues song? But it really does work, and I really feel like he's sort of trying something new, taking something that wouldn't be typically heard on a blues song and putting it on, and somehow it still works and fits in really nicely with the rest of the feel of the song. The title track, Tempest, is a pretty long song. It's clocking in at about 14 minutes, and it's a song actually about the Titanic. It stands in the long tradition of folk songs, singing about a tragedy, sort of like Gordon Lightfoot's The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't think any song has really been written in this style about the Titanic. And one thing that's cool about this song too is it actually references James Cameron's movie, The Titanic, by actually calling out Leonardo DiCaprio by name. So it's kind of singing about the actual events of the Titanic and the sort of the fictionalized version that James Cameron had in his movie. The instrumentation is pretty cool too. It has this slow kind of country vibe going on with it, and the main instrument, or the first instrument that you actually hear, is kind of like a string quartet, but it's almost like they're not playing in a classical style. They're sort of playing as a fiddle, but it is a string quartet. The album closes with a song called Roll On John, and it's actually a tribute to John Lennon. It kind of describes John Lennon's death and how Bob Dylan felt after he had been shot, and it's really a tribute, and a lovely tribute, to John Lennon, not just his death but his life, and really it's a song about losing your friend. And John Lennon and Bob Dylan were good friends, and I think that John Lennon would have appreciated this song because he was such a big fan of Bob Dylan, and vice versa. They sort of were really close. It's a sad song, but it has a peaceful undertone to it as well. It's very much like John Lennon, and like I said, I think he would have really appreciated this one. The production on this album is pretty well done. The instrumentation kind of takes a backseat to the vocals, which is pretty expected on a Bob Dylan record, considering that the lyrics and the words are the most important thing. I really like this album a lot, and it's nice to see that Bob Dylan, even at 71 years old, is still putting out quality albums and really putting a lot of thought and effort into the songs. I have to give this album a 9 out of 10. It really is that good, and it's great to see that Bob Dylan is still doing it. So anyway, that's what I thought about the album. Let me know what you guys think in the comments or with the video response, And before I go, I just wanted to thank Anthony Fantano. He recently did a video sort of giving a shout out to fellow reviewers. I wasn't actually in the video, but my channel was linked in the description of his video, which I really appreciate, and I wanted to just give a thanks to him. And since then I have gained quite a few subscribers, about 45 new ones, and so if you're new to the channel, welcome. And I just wanted to let you know that I do other things other than reviewing albums. I have a podcast that I will link below in the description, and yeah, I hope you stick around. So I just wanted to thank Anthony for that, and welcome to the new subscribers. And I guess that's about it, all I wanted to say. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.